Okay. Definition for a logarithm. Exponential functions and logarithmic functions are what are called inverses of each other. What an inverse means is that if you trade places with x and y and then resolve the equation for y, you have the inverse of the original equation. That's really, in a nutshell, what you do. You don't really need to do that. That's just how they come up with it. In a logarithmic equation, a is the base. A can't be 1. A has to be positive. It can't be negative. This is an exponential equation. Okay? A raised to the power of y is equal to x. And that's equivalent to saying y is equal to the base a logarithm of x. So it's just about, some students have made up a little rhyme about how you do this. They say that in order to convert, you drop y down here and drop a into the base of the log over here. You basically drop y out of being an exponent and move a over here to be the base of the log for x. But these two mean exactly the same thing. Now the way that that's useful, this is called the exponential form. This makes it make more sense. The exponential form of this expression is that a raised to the second power is equal to 9. Now you know that's true. 3 squared is 9. Okay? It's also true that the base 3 logarithm of 9 is 2, because that says 3 raised to the second power is 9. The base raised to the power. Y is the power. And this is what it's equivalent to. This says 1/5 to the negative 2 power is equal to 25. That's because negative powers basically flip your fraction upside down and then make the power positive. So this is the base 1/5 logarithm. The base is 1/5. The power is negative 2. And that's the 1/5 base logarithm of 25. If you took 1/5 to raise it to the negative 2 power, you would get 25. 10 to the 5th is 100,000. That's because 10 times itself 5 times means that you've got, from the first 10, you've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So it's 10 to the 5th. The 5 tells you there's 5 zeros. Okay? 10 to the 5th, this is the base, that's the exponent. The base 10 logarithm of 5 is 100,000. The base 4 logarithm of 1 over 64 gives you the power that went on that base, which was negative 3. If you use 2 as the base and you raise it and your answer comes out to be 1/16, it was because you took 2 to the negative 4 power. The power is on the other side of the equal in logarithmic expressions. So this is base, power, result. Base, power, result. Base, power, result. Base, power, result. This is called a natural logarithm. This is called a common logarithm. Base 10 and natural logarithms are the only ones that you can do on your calculator. And that's because you have base 10 logarithms right there. Right here.
Oh.
And if you hit second, or excuse me, if you hit ln is the base e logarithm. It's called the natural log. Okay? What this tells you, if you look in the yellow or what's printed above, that it's 10 to the x power, those are inverses of each other. E to the x's inverse is the natural log of x. Those are your inverse functions. So if you wanted to figure out how to evaluate logarithms, if you don't have logarithms you can do on your calculator, but it's all numbers, what this is saying is what power would you raise 4 to get 64? Well, you can figure that out on your calculator even without having the base 4 logarithm, because you can do this. 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 to the third power is 64. So the base 4 logarithm of 64 is 3. Okay? What power would you raise 2 to get a negative 8? Okay, negative 8. Well, I know that 2, not divided, 2 times 2 times 2 gives me positive 8, so 2 to the third power gives me positive 8. How am I going to get a negative 8 out of that? Well, is negative again. But remember, your base has to be positive. And it says for all x greater than 0. Okay, so that means whatever this is has to be positive. Can't be a negative 3. Okay. Let me find my PowerPoint. Might be worth doing a few of these, even though we are after 9 o'clock. I'd rather do that than have y'all not be able to do these and be frustrated. Oh, that's just my exponentials. Oh no, I can post them. I'm going to post them for you. Oh yeah, I will. Y'all can nag if I don't. And I promise I won't complain. Okay. We're looking for a number where 2 raised to the x power is negative 8. 2 to the x is power for all real numbers. Then we conclude that the base 2 logarithm of negative 8 is undefined. Remember, you've got to go back to those initial descriptions. X has to be positive. A can't be 1 and A has to be positive. So if x can't be negative, then asking you to do that was asking you to do something you couldn't do. Okay? Now the base 5 of 80 says, what power could you raise 5 to and get 80? Well, you can't. There's no whole number power that you can raise 5 to. 5 squared is 25, 5 cubed is 125, and 80 is in between there. So the only way that we can answer that is to say, well, it's somewhere between 2 and 3. Now, we have a way to get a more accurate, another answer. I passed it up. And it's not a hard thing to do. You basically just take the natural log of both of them and you'll come out with the right answer. That's what this one says. So if I wanted to solve that problem on my calculator, I could. What I do is I take the natural log of 80, which is the x, and divide it by the natural log of the base, which is 5. And then I get an answer. And you just round it off.
You don't use the log, but you just use the...
You can also use the base 10 logarithm as long as you use the same one for numerator and denominator. So if I did the log of 80 divided by the log of 5, I should get the same answer. So it doesn't matter which log you use. Just take the log of both the numbers you're given and you'll find out what the power should have been. Okay? So this is really not as hard as you're thinking it's going to be. And you will have whatever I do with my class, plus I'll go through, I'll post these, and you should have recordings that will go with these, and then I'll go through and do some of the homework in my stat lab to help you out too. A lot of these are like problems in my stat lab.
It's not hard, but my problem is I don't know how to use the calculator. So once I know what buttons to press, then it's pretty simple, but I have to Google to try and figure out which video to watch to figure out how to use the calculator before I can do that's where I've been struggling.
Well, and in here, I don't know if it's on this one or not, but like here, I showed you here how to actually graph a base 10 logarithm in the calculator.
Yes.
When the calculators are appropriate to use, I try to show you in my PowerPoints, in my lessons, how to do that.
Yes, you do.
My stat lab is not helpful about that.
No,
I
it's
understand.
not.
I understand.
And they do stuff so different, you have to do the example to see how they want it done, because it's never like we do in class. My stat lab is like a totally separate thing.
And it's always been that. It's not just with your class. Like with probability and statistics, what we were taught inside the classroom was different than what we had to use on, and on my stat lab. Same with Pearson and 1100 and any other math class I've taken here. It's different what you're looking at and what you're doing.
It's always been a failing of doing online homework systems that they almost never do it the optimal way. The problems that we did tonight with modeling, this is another one, and this is in the exponential. So you know the basics of how to do it. But since I knew that you might not remember, I showed you how to do it on the calculator too. Okay?
Do you post those right now?
I will post them right now.
And 10.1, you were going to post the one that you taught out of, not the one you printed off for us last week. And I never saw that posted.
Let me see if I can just, let me make sure that's the one I've got access to here. You've got that one, but that's not the one that I
That
used.
wasn't the one that you had used.
And then we didn't finish 2.2.
No, never.
Do that.
I'll post all of those, though. I'm looking to see where the one, I bet this is the one. This is the one that we taught from.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me put that one up there right now.
thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Hang in there, it's almost over. Wish I could tell you something better, but this time of the semester, I don't know what I can tell you that makes it any better.
That's almost over.
Yeah, that's what I said.
This is almost over.
And then 3, 4, and 5, we need 5 points.
I'm gonna put the PowerPoints and the notes up. So this is gonna take me a minute. See, I think I did 10.1 and 10.2. You need 10.3, 10.4,
You can click on Rutherford and U2L, like click on the math class, get that over.
10.5. You don't need 10.6 because we didn't do 10.6.
You can get an app. Yeah. And then your password is the same as your D2L password. And you just put that in there and then just click on your class. But there is an app, I know for the Apple phone, I don't, did you find it for?
I can't get the Integrity app on my iPad to work.
Oh, I can't.
I've tried.
What I don't like about it is like all of mine are thrown together, and I have 2 techers who are religiously posters of Integrity, or 3 of them that are Integrity lectures, so you're going through there going, who are you, what was
Which one are you?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay, on mine, my Integrities always have 1630 as the first
Yeah, 'cause I'm like,
part of the title. Well, I did that for me, but I'm glad that'll help you.
It does.
Because I save all of my Integrities into my sandbox, and then I need to be able to figure out which ones are which.
I'm still waiting on Wong. I'm supposed to call her tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Just a quick question on the stat line. The review quizzes, are those required?
The review
Same question I
homework,
have too.
yeah, it's all
Yeah,
that.
because I haven't been doing it, but you said you took it off of 10. So if it is required and it'll affect my stat grade, I didn't know if you could reopen it. Not like the
I thought they
quiz
were-
at the top, but at the
One
end
at
of
the
the
bottom.
sections.
Like I thought the.
I
skills check
omitted
and
the one for chapter 10.
At the bottom.
Yeah, the one at the bottom for 10.
But those are required.
They were for the others. I'll go in here in just a second. I'll go ahead and
I
reopen
might be
for you.
saying it wrong to you, so I'll just wait.
The skills check review
Yeah,
and the
not the ones
skills check
above the
homework, I
sections,
thought
the
those
ones below
were.
the section.
Georgiana,
I have the ones below.
Quiz or something.
sign up
Is that what it said?
for, well, no, you can't.
I can, same day, same time. I looked into it.
And I don't have any
Okay.
seats left in my daytime one because I was gonna say sign up on my daytime one, but I don't have any seats left in it.
There was none when I looked. And then, I don't know what INT period calculus is. I don't know what that is, that's the only RODP class they offer. And I don't wanna
You don't
take
want
it.
that class.
No, I'm ready to take and have a meeting with Gillum and, Wong and Trent if I get a no from Wong. I'm gonna call him in there and I'll be like, why are you stopping me from graduating? I've came to both of you, I've taken both these teachers before. You know, you can't stop me, not when you're not offering enough. I'm sorry.
Let me see if I can get her to put you a seat in my daytime 1830. So you
Yeah.
can sign up there. No time conflicts.
Yeah,
And I will tell her, I will work with her on the first night of class. Because that's the only place there's gonna be a conflict is the first night of class.
I am like, it's so, but hold on, cause I gotta call Wong at 9 o'clock in the morning. I
Okay,
heard
see-
she's more apt to say yes than Trent is, which is BS, because Trent was a teacher in the same situation with Keith Glover, and she backed him up to the dean at the time, before she was dean. So
Yeah.
I think it's a bunch of BS,
Yeah.
so.
She was in my position at that time because she was teaching the class that I normally would have taught. And I would have done it for Keith.
Yeah, well, and that's why I'm like, come on, lady. It's not like this isn't the first time it's an issue, and that was 10 years ago.
Crap.
And we still have issues.
Okay, as long as it left that one. Please let that one be the
Okay,
right
well, I'm
one.
gonna head home, I'll email you, thank you.
Okay, it is good. Both of the 10.1s are there.
Okay.
Whichever, this is the one that I actually taught from, but I may not use it next year, so they're both there. So they're all there now. Everything's there.
Can you look at assignments here and see what she's talking about? Cynthia,
Let me go to
what is,
course tools. Do you care if I just go
Nope,
grade
I
book?
don't care.
Because that's the easiest place for me to tell.
Oh, no, I don't care. Okay, so, like this, oh wait, no, not that, keep going down. Yours looks different. Whatever it is that I haven't done, but I don't see a 0 on there anywhere.
Maybe those don't count then. You can't tell what does and what doesn't in ours as far as.
Yeah. Okay, let me look on the grade book and show you what does and doesn't count, or not in the grade book, in the assignment manager.
Okay,
So
here
like
it
the
is.
chapter 1 review
Yes.
homework doesn't count.
Oh, and the review quiz doesn't count either? Because there's always, whenever you see review homework, there's like a review quiz.
In chapter 1, there was not a review quiz. In chapter
Okay.
2, there was not a review quiz.
There is on mine,
See,
but I don't see it on yours. It is on mine.
Oh, wait, maybe on my homework showing up. Let's show all.
Okay, right there.
Okay, the quiz.
Quiz.
The review quiz does count,
Cause that's like reviewing the whole.
but you notice here the
That's a-
skills review homework is not assigned for a grade. It's there for you to do, but the grade's not gonna count for anything. And the reason I leave it there is because some people need to do that homework to be able to pass the skills check quiz.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about at the bottom.
I think
It is,
those are-
oh.
Yeah, those are required.
That's going, I haven't done those. It's gonna bring my
Well,
average down.
Let me help you out with that then.
Oh my gosh. Never done with school, everything, sleep.
I always felt that way.
I did not realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it gets hard.
I did too.
5 and 10. What I did was I'll give you until Thursday of final exam week
Okay.
to,
For some reason, I didn't think that was required to do any of them.
it just blanked them all out. Yay. It didn't keep my date. Okay, now let me update. That way, if you go in there and do them, not only will you be getting a grade, but it'll also be helping you study. You can spend less time doing something else and more time studying on that.
So the rest of 10 is due this Friday. Can you extend that? Is there any way possible? I've done 1 and 2, but I haven't even started on 3, 4, and 5.
Go back to the homework. Let's just move everything to Sunday night for the time being. Then if we need to move further, we can.
Okay, just send you something in my mind. I hope to have everything done. by
Actually, it's
then.
already got till the 2nd, but that's Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna change 10.6 because it's not assigned anyway.
Just
Took
sorry.
off the
No,
review
go ahead.
homework.
I was gonna just
And
clarify.
if you see something that says copy in there, don't do that. It's not assigned. It was a
Okay.
copy I made in order to be able to make changes.
Okay.
The review quizzes all count for a grade, but the review homework after the chapter, that is just helpful.
It's there if you wanna do it,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
I already asked that actually before, I
Yeah.
just wanna.
And my stat lab's 40% of our grade.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
And the reason I count it so much is because hopefully for everybody, that's good grades.
Yeah. And then you'll just send me a text and remind about my tests?
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as I get it graded.
That's fine.
And it was the same one you took before, so hopefully,
I'm hoping. Thank you.
Got a few things.
Okay.
Can I go ahead and kind of put myself in there for Wednesday, another
yeah.
class?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and start checking tomorrow and see who's got classes on Wednesday and Thursday nights, so I'll know who I can ask. So you can just let me know. The only reason I'll need to know in advance is because I have to tell them who's coming.
Mhm.
Because if you just walk in there and say, I want to take a test from Ms. Flint, they're gonna say, who are you?
Yeah.
Because they don't know you.
Yeah, I could, I don't know who, we might not know who it'll be with, but I think Wednesday would be a good option for me. I mean, why not?
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
I've got a final on Monday that I've got to study for, and Wednesday I think I have a final as well, but I'm not concerned about that other one.
Okay,
Only 2 classes that I really have to study,
okay,
this being one of them.
okay. Yeah, I'll check with the secretary tomorrow and see who all has tests next week in the evenings. But I know at least 2 people have tests on Thursday, and I'm pretty sure at least 1 person has test on Wednesday. So we'll do it that way.
Thursday could have been an option, I just don't have a schedule that far out for work.
Yeah.
So if something happened on Wednesday, I might
You might still could do
something.
Thursday.
Yeah. I
That'll
just
be
don't know
fine.
if I'm gonna be scheduled in the evening or in the
Okay.
morning, yeah. And I don't know how this all works with the finals, but do you need any, help? Because my wife asked me to ask you if you need any, work study student.
Does she have hours left?
I don't know. I don't think she knows either. I think,
Tell her if she knows for sure she has hours left, I will be happy to find something for her to do if need be, so she can get her hours in. But if she's fulfilled her hours, tell her worry about her work, not
Yeah.
about us.
okay. I think that's all it was. I don't think it's a money thing or an hours thing. It's just, she wanted to ask.
I know, she is so dedicated. We appreciate her so much. We're gonna see if we can't get her some help in the spring, because she was the only one this semester that we had. But, tell her, no, unless it's an hours thing that she needs some more hours to get it in, that we'll take care of ourselves right now. And we want her to do well on her test.
Yeah, she would definitely put herself in the position where
She would, I know.
she has to do all this work and also study for all her classes, yeah.
And she needs not to do that.
Okay, I'll let her
Okay.
know, because she'll have stuff to do for Jan.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, the only concern I have is accessing the